Sometimes we get, we have the issue with there's a whole bunch of people trying to. There's this like a repatriation movement that's going on with a lot of, let's say, Hollywood actors, many people, many African Americans finding their roots.
You mean folks who are sick and tired of living in America?
I will say people who are trying to find their roots. I cannot say
Afro-Jamaican, for example.
Afro-Jamaican.
Yeah, he's from Canada, but
yes, he lives. But it's not that they're tired, but it's like they're trying to find their roots, or they're trying to find Mizizi roots. Are you seeing a big clientele from that end, or is it a mixture of just, let's say, Ghanaians or West Africans? Or what percentage-wise, like if you were to compare the number of people interested in, let's say, real estate and buying houses, are you looking at a big percentage of, let's say, Ghanaians or African Americans or non-Ghanaians? Let me say that.
All right, so generally the people who are purchasing right now, so as far as reconnecting to your roots, I think that's a big part of what starts the conversation. What finishes the conversation and makes someone want to make that transition is when they actually get on the ground for the first time. Mm-hmm. One of our secret sales tricks is, I just got to get you to Ghana. Like, Ghana will take care of everything itself. Now, as far as the distribution, we've actually had more than I thought of people of African descent who don't have a direct connection to Africa, at least a known direct connection. But the ones who are most likely are people who've had maybe an aunt, or they have a grandparent back there and they've done a few trips, because once someone has done those first initial trips,
correct,
it becomes a lot more real for them, and they know how nice it is. They know how good
you don't have to sell
is.
it, quote unquote.
There's no selling.
No sales,
the only sale is, can I get you to Ghana? Then you'll want to buy the best real estate, and I would hope that's what we're putting together, but it's very hard to get someone to want to leave once they've touched down.
Okay, all right, that's great. And then we have another comment here coming from Doreen Florence, who says, stay away from the Kenyan market for now. Utajua hujui. So utajua hujui is a saying in Kenya we have, in that you will be character developed. I don't even know whether character developed is an actual is Kenyan English, or if it's English.
Loosely translated, it's like you will know you don't know.
You'll know that you don't know, because the real estate market in Kenya can be very tricky. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
It is very tricky.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can be.
For some people, Afro-Jamaican will tell you that, it wasn't as tricky for him. And I think he got the right people to help him, in my opinion.
Yes.
So yes, it can be
can
tricky.
be very
if you do it if you get the right people to help you, it can be very seamless. The only problem in Kenya is that there are outfits that know how to wear the suits and set themselves up in such a way that they look legit. And there's been a lot of scamming that has happened to people, especially Kenyans who live here in the U.S. So that's been an issue that we've been experiencing.
One of the things that we've done to resolve that concern is when they're building new construction with us, is where is the money held during the construction process? Okay. And for us, the money that someone's putting to the side in escrow that is distributed to us during the construction process is held in an American title company. It's actually held in an American law firm that's bonded. The funds are only released after an inspection on the property has shown that
by the owner or the owner's representatives.
So the owner is allowed to either use our inspectors if they want to, which is of no cost. They can use their own inspectors, which we pay half of that.
Okay.
And there's 4 different phases after we start. So you have the foundation. When the foundation's done, they come through, they inspect it, they get their first. We get our first draw from that to continue the project. Then when we kind of get everything framed out, it's another draw. Once we have most of the interior in, there's one more draw, and then when we finally have all of the fixtures in, everything's good to go. Then we've delivered the final keys, title. Then we get our final draw from our side. So at no point is person's check at risk. Actually, we're at risk.
So in this process, I haven't heard you talk about financing and or using a bank or whatever, because I've heard you talking about the escrow, putting the money on hold. So does that mean that one can still go get financed, but not all the money would be released to you guys? It's going to be released in phases, or would it be released totally? And I guess the finance company would hold title or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, there's a few ways for financing to be done. We will do financing up to 36 months through our company, and that's at no interest whatsoever. So we will do that financing for you. That's really useful for people who are reaching certain benchmarks where their capital gains goes from short-term to long-term capital gains, because a lot of them are withdrawing money from the market to purchase the property.
Oh,
that's why we stretched that out.
Okay.
There are a few Kenyan banks that we are bringing on, or not Kenyan. Ghanaian bank. It would be nice if I get Kenyan bank. Ghanaian banks.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay. You're already in the market. It seems like all we have to do is get you.
The thought is already there.
All we have to do is get you to Kenya.
You're learning to sell like us. You're learning to sell like us. No, we're going to be rolling out hopefully 5-year mortgages. Again, you're not going to get 30-year fixed rate mortgages like you get in America.
Correct.
Which is actually a good thing, because as soon as there's that type of market, the houses are going to become unaffordable. This is really an opportunity for people from the diaspora right now. I don't think it's going to last forever. I think for the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be an opportunity to use the exchange rates, to use the fact that the Western world gets a lot of capital on paper through equities and so forth. There's going to be a chance where a regular person could get a dream house in West Africa. You can get a dream house right now. Mm-hmm. But the second that West Africa is fully developed, once we get the parasitic ties off of the continent as best as we can, and when they start having mortgages, which is probably going to happen, we're going to see prices go up, and it's just not going to be. I think it'll be more affordable for Africans. I think it'll be better for people who live in Africa.
Correct.
But I don't think it's going to be the situation where you can be a regular person in America and then be the rich person in Ghana. This is like a 10 to 20 year opportunity.
So the time is now.
Oh, get in there right now. Even if you don't buy one of our properties, get a good title attorney. At least get your plot of land right now.
Okay.
We are buying property. So I'm buying land in Yamoussoukro. I'm buying my own land in Ghana.
Yamoussoukro, you're talking about Ivory Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to speak French sometimes. I'm terrible at it. I need a place to practice.
Okay, parlez-vous.
Oui. Pepe le Pew.
Who knew?
I didn't know this was a francophile.
No, moi je parle français.
C'est vrai?
Oui.
Continue, please. No, continue.
Je m'appelle comment tu t'appelles? Coupé, Kubamba.
Let me find out. Français très difficile.
No, in Kenya, the French that we
Grey
speak
Poupon.
Yeah.
We actually learned French in primary school, like way back in whatever, but that thing went out the door.
Yeah. So you're talking about Yamoussoukro. You have you said you have property.
We're purchasing. We're actually going to be purchasing a few acres.
Okay.
Right next to the cathedral, and
oh wow!
So it's not too far away. I think it's going to be a really kind of wonderful getaway for us. I love the food out there. I love acheke. I love I love the culture, and hopefully I'll be able to go to Burkina Faso once they get everything situated. I'm very interested.
With that young new leader, the one that one that you don't want to mention his name on your Instagram videos.
They will flag your videos so quick if you mention that guy's name.
That is so.
Why would they? What?
And that's an interesting thing, like.
Who's gonna flag your video? Wait a minute.
No, Instagram is gonna flag your video.
If you do what?
Instagram is gonna flag the guy. If you mention that the guy name. from Burkina Faso. Ibrahima Traore. Now I've mentioned him. Maybe they might flag the video.
Why would you mention that?
Why would he be flagged? They've been doing that. They have been doing that. There's this thing called shadow banning. Even with what was happening last week with the conflict in Gaza, there's some stuff that we talked about that was shadow banned. But I'm gonna talk to you guys about that. Yes,
you may attend.
Yes, I'm gonna talk to you guys about that after the show. And then we also have Mika who's tuned in. But talk to us about Burkina Faso. So Mika is connected to us via Zoom. He also has some questions for you. But you're talking about Burkina Faso.
Well, they have a very interesting deal in the works right now. So let's bring Russia into it. Let's just test this shadow ban theory. So
wow. Okay, so I guess when you go for it, you go for it, right?
Yeah, you go for it.
Full throttle.
So Russia has basically agreed in principle that they're going to be building a nuclear reactor in Burkina Faso. It's just going to roll out. They will be the fourth nuclear country in Africa. It's going to be something that I think is going to be very powerful for the region because it's not just the nuclear power plant. It's that it creates a base load of energy, and it creates a necessary infrastructure, which is going to create low-cost power that's going to enable the region to basically become much more advanced in manufacturing, much more advanced in construction, and it's going to make expansion economically a lot easier. See, what's nice about nuclear power is that it is very reliable, carbon neutral, and it creates this baseline, so you can draw from it, and then you can use renewables, things like that, when you need to get it a little bit higher. But it's kind of showing like this bond that Russia is making through a lot of Africa, and I think Russia's making a lot of friends right now.